Whether you've just unboxed a new drip coffee maker one or you've had yours for years, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to make consistently great coffee. First things first, let's talk about setting up your machine. When you're choosing where to put it, you'll want a level surface with plenty of space above it. These machines produce steam, so they need room to breathe. Give it about 3 or 4 inches of clearance from walls and cabinets. Before you make your first actual cup of coffee, run 2 or 3 cycles with just plain water. This cleans out any manufacturing residue and gets everything primed and ready. Now let's break down what all those parts actually do. The water reservoir is pretty straightforward. It's where the water goes, and it usually has markings to show you how much water you're adding. The filter basket holds your paper or permanent filter, and above that is the shower head that is the part that sprays water over your coffee grounds. Down at the bottom, you've got your warming plate, which keeps your coffee hot after brewing. Those buttons and settings on your machine might look intimidating, but they're actually pretty simple. Most machines have a few basic settings for brew strength. Regular is your standard setting with normal water flow. If you see a strong setting, that just means the water flows through more slowly, extracting more from your coffee. Some fancy machines have a gourmet setting, which is even slower. Temperature control is another feature you might have. Regular temperature is usually between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect for medium roast coffee. If you're brewing light roast, you might want to use the hot setting if you have it. Some machines even let you set an exact temperature, but don't worry too much about this unless you're really into coffee. Let's talk about one of the most important parts of making good coffee: the ratio of water to coffee grounds. A good starting point is 2 tablespoons of ground coffee for every 6 ounces of water. Want stronger coffee? Use 2.5 tablespoons. Like it weaker? Go with 1.5. But here's the thing: always measure. Don't eyeball it. Consistent measurement means consistent coffee. The actual brewing process is pretty straightforward, but there are some things to keep in mind. Start by filling the reservoir with filtered water. Yes, filtered makes a difference. Put in your filter if you're using paper filters. Give them a quick rinse first. Add your measured grounds, and make sure everything's closed up properly. Then just select your settings and hit start. Most modern coffee makers have some programming features that can make your life easier. Setting the clock is usually as simple as holding down the clock button and adjusting the time. Want coffee ready when you wake up? That's what the program feature is for. Just set your brew time and make sure everything's ready the night before. Now, let's talk about keeping your coffee maker happy. Daily maintenance is simple: just empty the grounds, rinse the carafe, and wipe down the warming plate. Weekly, you'll want to clean the filter basket and shower head, and give the water reservoir a good wipe. Monthly maintenance is where you'll do your deep cleaning, including descaling the machine. Speaking of descaling, this is super important. Over time, mineral deposits build up in your machine and can affect both taste and performance. Mix equal parts water and white vinegar, run half a cycle, let it sit for half an hour, then finish the cycle. After that, run 2 or 3 cycles with clean water to rinse everything out. If you're having problems with your coffee maker, there are usually simple fixes. Brewing too slow? Clean the shower head and descale the machine. Weak coffee? You might need to use more coffee or a finer grind. Bitter coffee often means you are either using too much coffee or leaving it on the warming plate too long. Try not to leave coffee on the warmer for more than 30 minutes. Here is a pro tip that most people don't know about. Run an empty cycle before making your coffee. This preheats everything and helps you get better extraction from your grounds. Also, keep your machine away from cold spots in your kitchen. Temperature stability is important for good coffee. Remember, great coffee comes down to 4 main things: a clean machine, good water, fresh coffee, and the right ratios. Get these basics right, and you'll be making coffee that's better than most cafes. And hey, if you're not getting it perfect right away, don't worry. Like anything worth doing, making great coffee takes a little practice. The best part about mastering your drip coffee maker: that perfect cup of coffee every single morning, made exactly the way you like it, without spending $5 at a coffee shop. Trust me, once you get this down, you'll never look back.